Welcome back to Evelyn the Advocate. I'm Dr. Evelyn Denise Hempel, and this channel exists because your story and mine deserves to be heard. Let's get right into it. Summers at the old White House were extraordinary. June bugs, dandelions, mud pies, and gooseberries. Until one summer day when everything changed. I had just finished first grade. My older family members had friends over and wanted to ride bikes. My mother had specifically told me not to touch my siblings' 10-speed bike. A younger girl did not have a bike, and I let her borrow it anyway. She had some trouble keeping control. Then we heard a crash. A car struck her. She did not survive. The walk back home with those same bikes is one of the most sobering memories of my life. And I spent years believing it was my fault. What the loss taught me, I eventually learned to separate guilt from responsibility. I made a decision that a child made. I lent a bike to include someone. I did not cause the accident, but I have thought about that little girl for my entire life. And I believe that is right. This experience began teaching me something that would protect me later, to think independently and not to allow social pressure to override my better judgment. My mother had told me not to touch that bike. I did it anyway. I have spent the rest of my life working to make sure my own conscience is louder than any outside pressure. The house that followed, and speaking up, we eventually moved in with an elderly man who presented himself as a man of faith while calling children in to drink with him the moment the adults left. I was the oldest. I kept this from my mother because I was afraid of what her reaction would cost us. I was 7 years old, protecting a man who was harming me because I needed the stability he represented. Now I recognize it instantly. It is the same calculation survivors make in abusive relationships throughout their lives. When he finally crossed the line, I could not stay silent. I told. My mother responded with everything she had. The charges were dismissed. We moved, and I understood. Speaking up, even when it costs something, is always the right decision. Guilt and responsibility are not the same thing. You can acknowledge your role in a painful outcome without accepting that your life is defined by that moment. Carry the lesson. Release the sentence. Children who protect their abusers are not complicit. They are surviving. When a child keeps a secret that protects an adult who is harming them, that is not dishonesty. That is the only tool available to them. Speaking up costs something. Staying silent costs more. Every time I have told the truth, even when it was dangerous, it has been the right decision. The truth does not always produce the outcome you want immediately, but it produces integrity. The weight you carry from someone else's tragedy is not always yours to set down, but it is never yours to be buried under. The first footstool, 5 years of abuse I could not name. In the next episode, we will move into the relationship that will consume 5 years of my life. My first footstool, my teenage abuser, and the beginning of intimate partner violence. I had no language to name. The first footstool, 5 years of abuse that began on a dark, cold night.